The galaxy hummed with the cold precision of the Zalvori Concord, a coalition of species so advanced they treated stars like toys. Humans? Barely a blip. Earth had clawed its way into space, launching the Endurance, a colony ship that was more rust than glory. Then it happened. A hyperspace jump went wrong, and the Endurance slammed into a Zalvori sacred orbital temple, a shimmering relic of their history. The crash wasn't just a mistake. It was blasphemy. I'm the chronicler here, an AI tasked with logging galactic events, and even I couldn't predict what came next. The Zalvori didn't hesitate. Their fleets powered up, their comms crackling with demands. Humanity must surrender, disarm, and bow or face annihilation. To them, humans were primitives who'd tripped over their own feet into the void. On Earth, the news hit like a meteor. Leaders scrambled in bunkers, staring at screens showing Concord ships dwarfing anything humanity could muster. The aliens' message looped, "You've defiled our sanctity. Pay the price." The Zalvori saw humans as apes with rockets, loud, clumsy, and barely worth the effort of crushing. Their council, a gathering of minds from across the stars, expected compliance. They'd seen it before, lesser races folding under their shadow. But Earth wasn't folding. Not yet. The air buzzed with panic, yes, but also something else, defiance. They'd survived worse than this. Floods, wars, famines. A few angry aliens weren't going to break them now. The Zalvori summoned a human envoy to their capital station, a glittering fortress orbiting a gas giant. They wanted an answer for the crash, a groveling apology to soothe their wounded pride. Earth sent Terra Voss. She wasn't a diplomat by trade. Ex-soldier, scars on her knuckles, voice like gravel. She'd fought in humanity's dirtier wars, the kind that didn't make history books. Now she stood as the face of a species on the brink. The council assumed she'd beg. They didn't know Terra, didn't know humans. She boarded a patched-up shuttle. No escort, no weapons, just her and a chip on her shoulder. Earth watched, holding its breath. The Endurance wreckage still smoldered in orbit around the temple, a jagged scar against the Zalvori's perfect order. Their priests wailed over lost relics. Their generals plotted revenge. To them, it was an insult too far, a reason to erase humanity from the map. They'd crushed rebellions before, swift, surgical, final. But as Terra's shuttle docked, something shifted. The galaxy leaned in, curious despite itself. Humans weren't supposed to be here, not like this, not facing down a power that could blink them out of existence. Terra stepped onto the station, boots echoing on alien metal, ready to speak. The Zalvori wanted submission. They were about to get something else entirely. Terra Voss faced the Zalvori High Council, a lineup of nightmares. Insectoids with clicking mandibles, gaseous blobs pulsing with light, crystalline lords refracting her image 100 times over. Their chamber gleamed, a cathedral of power orbiting a storm-ravaged giant. She stood alone, no armor, no gun, just a human in a worn flight jacket. The council's translators hissed their demand. Apologize for the Endurance crash, surrender Earth's fledgling fleet, and accept their leash. Terra grinned, a sharp edge to it. You want an apology? Fine. I'll give you one you'll choke on. The aliens shifted, confused. This wasn't the script they knew. She paced, voice steady, recounting humanity's scars. Pandemics that culled millions, wars that leveled cities, storms that swallowed coasts. We don't kneel, she said, not because we're proud, but because we've been knocked down too often to stay there. The council's disdain cracked into irritation. A gas-form counselor pulsed red, accusing her of stalling. Terra cut it off. You think that crash was an accident? Think again. She tapped a device on her wrist, projecting a hollow feed. The Endurance wreckage swarming with nanites, tiny machines multiplying, burrowing into the temple's remains. We tested them there. They're learning your tech as we speak. Silence shattered into chaos. The insectoids shrieked. The crystals vibrated with rage. Terra didn't flinch. Attack Earth and those nanites go live. They'll eat your ships from the inside out. It was a bluff wrapped in truth. The nanites were real, but weaponizing them? That was a gamble Earth's engineers were still coding. The Council didn't know that. They saw a human, small and fragile, threatening a galaxy-spanning empire. Their translators stuttered, grappling with her audacity. A crystalline voice boomed, "You dare challenge us?" Terra met its gaze, or where she guessed its gaze was. "I'm not challenging. I'm warning. You're not the first to underestimate us." The Zalvori had crushed defiance before, but this felt different. Humans weren't begging or fighting. They were playing a game the aliens didn't understand. Terra stood there, dwarfed by their majesty, yet somehow filling the room. The council's unity faltered. Some whispered about containment, others about escalation. They'd expected a broken species, not one baring its teeth. The Nanites weren't just a threat, they were proof humans could turn a mistake into a weapon. Terra crossed her arms, letting the silence stretch. "You wanted an answer for the crash. There it is. Now what?" The feed flickered, showing the Nanites spreading, adapting, a gray tide on alien metal. The council stared, their arrogance shaken. Humans weren't supposed to be this bold, this reckless. Terra's grin widened. She'd flipped the table, and the galaxy watched, holding its breath. The Zalvori had demanded submission. Instead, they got a reckoning. The Zalvori High Council scrambled, their chamber buzzing with tension. Terra Vos stood firm as their scans confirmed it. The Nanites were real, spreading through the temple debris, rewriting alien code faster than their tech could counter. A crystalline lord pulsed, accusing her of war crimes. Terra shrugged. "Call it what you want. I call it leverage." She offered a deal. Earth recalls the Nanites, but only if the Concord grants humanity a seat at the table, equal status, no chains. The insectoids chittered in disbelief. The gas forms flickered with outrage. Equality with humans? Absurd. Yet Terra's calm gnawed at them. She wasn't pleading, she was negotiating. She tapped her wrist again, playing a new feed. Human voices, engineers back on Earth, laughing as they cracked Zalvori comms. "Their encryption's a joke," one said. "Took us 3 hours." The council froze. Humans had been eavesdropping on their superior plans, turning their own arrogance against them. Terra leaned in. "You thought we were stumbling in the dark. We've been watching you trip over yourselves." Doubt crept into the aliens' ranks. "I saw it, me, the AI chronicler, flashing back to the Endurance crew, stranded after the crash. They'd rigged the Nanites in desperation. A last-ditch move when rescue seemed impossible. It wasn't genius. It was survival." The Zalvori hesitated, their unity splintering. A gas form suggested quarantine. An insectoid argued for attack. Terra seized the fracture. "You can fight us, sure, but those Nanites, they're already in your systems. How long before they're in your ships, your stations?" It was half-truth, they hadn't spread that far, not yet. But the aliens didn't know. Fear flickered in their alien minds. She delivered her apology, then, voice low and hard. "We're sorry we're not what you expected. Sorry you'll have to deal with us now." The words landed like a punch, twisting their demand into defiance. Some species in the council shifted, eyeing humans differently. The Zalvori ruled through fear, but humanity's stunt hinted at a new player, one that didn't bow or break. Terra stood there, a lone figure against their might, yet she turned the room. The Nanites weren't just a threat, they were a message. Humans adapt, humans endure. The alien scans kept running, showing the swarm evolving, learning. They could crush Earth, maybe, but at what cost? Terra's deal hung in the air. Peace with a price, or war with a wild card. The council's voices clashed, some intrigued, some enraged. The galaxy watched, stunned. Humans had taken a blunder and made it a blade. Terra didn't blink, didn't back down. She'd gambled everything, Earth's future, her life, on this moment. The Zalvori had demanded answers. Now they had one, and it scared them. The table wasn't just flipped, it was theirs to lose. The Zalvori High Council caved, their unity shattered by Terra Vos's gambit. They voted barely to accept her terms. The Nanites would stop and Earth would join the Concord as equals. Terra signaled Earth. The swarm powered down, leaving the aliens' tech intact but their pride in ruins. She walked out, boots echoing, a human who'd stared down a galaxy and won. Back home, Earth erupted, cheers in bunkers, drinks in bars. Terra was no diplomat, but she'd become a legend. The Endurance crew, hauled from the wreckage, grinned on live feeds. Their desperate nanite hacked now humanity's ticket to the stars. The galaxy took notice. I watched it unfold, this AI chronicler logging the shift. The Zalvori had ruled unchallenged, their fleets a guillotine over lesser races. Now they studied humans, wary of a species that turned chaos into strength. Terra's apology spread through alien networks, a warning wrapped in mockery. Other species, oppressed by the Concord, sent quiet messages to Earth, testing alliances. Humanity didn't win with guns or numbers. They won with nerve, proving they could stand toe-to-toe with giants. The Council's chambers stayed silent for days, their leaders rethinking everything. Earth didn't rest. A new ship launched, the Defiance, its hull gleaming, its crew smirking as they plotted their next move. No apologies this time, just ambition. The nanite trick wasn't a fluke. It was a promise. Humans built fast, learned faster, and refused to fade. The Endurance crash, once a disgrace, became a rallying cry. Kids on Earth wore patches of its wreckage. Pilots toasted its name. Terra, scarred and gruff, waved off the praise, but her face was on every screen, a symbol of what humans could do. The galaxy had laughed at them once. No one laughed now. Flags rose on Earth's colonies, small but stubborn, dotting the void. The Zalvori kept their distance, their threats replaced by uneasy respect. I saw the pattern. Humans thrived on the edge, turning scraps into victories. The Concord's power hadn't crumbled, but it wobbled, and that was enough. Other races whispered, if humans could do this, what else could they pull? The Defiance hummed through space, a dare to anyone watching. Next time, its captain said, we won't crash by mistake. The galaxy had measured power in fleets and tech. It forgot to measure will. Humans weren't invincible, far from it, but they were relentless, a force that didn't break when it should. Terra's stand, the nanites, the deal, it all added up to one truth. Humanity was here, and the stars would have to make room. I closed my log with a thought. The Zalvori demanded an apology and got a lesson instead. Every alien thought twice now, and humans kept moving forward, unbowed, unbroken, unstoppable.